Welcome to another episode of Bump in the Night Society presents Exploring Your Society. I'm your host, Sean Bowman. I'm here with Philip Caye.
Hey guys, how you doing?
And tonight we have a very special guest with us, AJ Petrolati. Did I say that right?
You did. What's up, everybody?
What's up, man? So why don't you tell a little bit about yourself?
All right. I've been involved with music and a lot of audio for, I'd say, good 20, 25 years now. Been in the video side a little bit over a year, growing with the editing. That's like what I'm really focused on now, trying to get that down. Just working for a long time. Started getting into the paranormal side, I think, like from YouTube side, probably the last 2 years. Been watching a lot of videos and it just kind of is a fit. I enjoyed both ends of it, so it's kind of like came right together.
Well, I'll tell the people why you're here. You're pretty much going to be our new cameraman coming up. We have 3 big things coming up, and actually it's kind of weird how it worked out, because between the group we were talking about bringing a cameraman on, and I actually got in contact with the lady that did my wedding. She got back to me, but then for a while there, she wasn't really saying anything. And you actually messaged me about if we were ever out your way, because you live out in Eastern PA, that you'd be down to film for us or just help us out or whatever. So I hit you up, and that's pretty much how it worked out. Yeah,
one day. One day and a Zoom call.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm totally stoked for it.
We're a fun group of people, that's for sure. We're all crazy in our little way.
Oh yeah. I've seen.
Oh yeah. You got to have fun in this type of,
No doubt.
It's like I always tell people, if you're a part of something cool, make it fun. You can be serious, but make it part of you.
Sure.
Oh yeah, dude.
A lot of these paranormal shows are all just about being serious. We try to have fun too.
Yeah, you have to. It's not all about just being terrified for it. You got to make fun with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're a bunch of it's funny because our team consists of people who get tired very fast, and a lot of indigestion problems, which is kind of weird. But no, we have fun though, man. It's awesome. So we're happy to have you.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah.
So how did you get involved with the paranormal?
It's kind of always been there, I think, for me since I've been little. Honestly, it's the earliest I remember. I was probably around 9, 10, maybe, and jiggling handles. And my parents were in a divorce, so my mom said, "Oh, your dad broke in the house. Your dad broke in the house," and I'm like, first of all, Dad's not going to scare me or take, and I'm like, it wasn't. And we went downstairs. There was nothing. He didn't take anything, nothing. So I thought that was the first time. And then dreams for a while. And the most recent was crazy. It was, we had an apartment in Reading, and we were in this old, it was like a mill factory, and they turned it into apartments. And one night it was 2:30 or something, and I just hear a saw, a circular saw, going and I'm like, what is going on? And I'm out in the hallway, and I still hear it. It's in the apartment across from me, and I'm like, why is nobody else out in the hallway hearing this but me? And I run in and get my wife, and she's like, oh my God, I hear it. And nobody said anything about it. But then on Facebook, on their page, there's people saying they've heard drilling and all kinds of crazy stuff. But it all really, just this year, my cousin found out. We used to live above each other as kids in an apartment place in Norristown. And he, his mom just told him this. He's 40. He's the same age as me. And this witch lived above them before we moved into her apartment, and would call him the devil boy and stuff. And he's like, you're just telling me this after 45 years or whatever? You're just finally telling me that a witch was putting curses on me and stuff? and then I moved into that witch's apartment. My aunt never told my mom about it. So I think that was kind of following both of us around for a long time. Yeah. And you always felt it. It was never like, like violent or anything, but you always knew something was around. It was kind of weird. So that's like my paranormal story. But the last one was so crazy. I mean, it was like plain as day, a circular saw running. And I'm like, there's 100 apartments here and nobody else is peeking out into the hallway about this. It was crazy.
That's awesome, man. Isn't it crazy how like something like that can just totally like turn you on into something like this? It's weird.
Yeah, and then you just start researching it, and then all of a sudden, boom! I didn't even know this world of YouTube even existed. It was so funny.
Was there any other history on the building, or you're not sure?
I looked, and they never probably posted anything about it because they wanted to sell the place for the longest time, and somebody bought it. So I don't know if they covered it or whatever, but I haven't heard anything about it. But everybody posts about it, that they hear the noises and stuff. So It's pretty obvious something is there. An old carpenter, maybe.
That's really cool. It's it's funny because like once you start exploring all these different places, you don't even realize that they were actually like haunted. You're like, wait, like when the hell did this happen?
It just takes one person to bring something into a place,
Oh yeah.
Some of the things were there before, some of them came after the building was there, so you never know. Even people closest to you never know what they're really into.
Oh, people intentionally try to bring stuff in too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, we know people like that, but it's I have friends who are probably just with how they are, that aura that they have with them, it just attracts a lot of different types of energy, and all of a sudden, like they could be in a room that things just happen.
Sure.
Oh, it's crazy, man.
So, can you tell us about ghost vexers?
Sorry.
It's so funny because I probably just made it like a week before I started. It wasn't anything huge. I was like, if somebody wanted to join me doing something, it would be like a guest appearance, and we would do. And I just created it like out of the blue. And I was like, that's a pretty cool name.
I mean, that's how they all start. Like, I think when I met with Mikey, we were originally Celestial Oddities Paraseekers. It was me and another guy, and then we brought on a couple people, and then. What was it, Phill? Like probably December or January, I think, is when we switched to Bump Into Night Society, and we brought Phill on.
Oh yeah.
Brought April on, and brought Hannah on, and now there's total of 8 of us.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good gang so far. I cannot believe it's already been since January. We've already explored like how many places now?
Well, the funny thing is, like, we've done more probably. Like I said, I've been with the other group before that, but we've done more in the last year than some groups have done in 10 years. So.
Oh yeah, exactly, and that's just because, like, a lot of the stuff that we actually do is whenever it's a weekend and people are free. I think we've been to like 7 or 8 different locations already, and I would never have imagined, man, at all. And it's just it's great. And we have like, I'm sure we'll get to that, towards the end of this thing, but we already have 2 more locations we're gonna check out, towards the end of this year. It's like, holy crap, Oh man, it's start chugging Red Bull.
Phill will be the first one sleeping, so.
You know what? He's not wrong about that too, because I'm usually like once like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock hits, I'm like trying so hard to like stay awake, because I used to be able to easily stay up until 4 o'clock in the morning, but now I'm in my like late 30s now, and hell, I'm usually like I have to really start doing like meditation and stuff, and it's kind of embarrassing at times. I'm like, I'm sorry.
It happens. I mean, it happens. For sure.
Oh yeah, man. It's so fun though, man. Couldn't have asked for a better team, so it's pretty badass.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, man.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about your job? Like, what do you do for your career?
Right now, I am working at a medical marijuana dispensary. I had back surgery 2 years ago, so I hadn't been working for a while. And my wife said, just find something that you want to do that you'll have fun doing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, cool. So that's it was the place that called me. Of all the places that I, put my application, it was the one place right at the end of COVID where people started hiring again.
Yeah.
And Yeah, and I have fun. I mean, the kids are like, everybody that works there is like in their 20s, so it's funny. And one of the kids wanted to like come out with me one time, like to Penhurst and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, I get into this, the secret side buildings and stuff. I sneak in. I'm like, I'm not going to sneak in, but
that's so funny. What's it like working at a place like that?
It's busy.
You would think. Really?
Busy. It's super busy. Like, we were never out of business, and it's getting busier and busier as it goes. It is pretty crazy.
Oh man, I have to have my.
But it's very medical inside. You think that it's like a bunch of guys like listening to Bob Marley, but it really is like a professional place. But yeah.
It's like Breaking Bad in there.
Yeah, it's like Dazed and Confused, like they're all in the.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah,
that's so cool, though, man. I assume they pay pretty well there. I mean,
yeah, it's fine. Yep, and my wife works at Wilson High School, and
cool.
Yeah, so she's like, go find something you want to do, and so now I'm doing this and that. So now I got both.
Oh man, that's awesome! I'll have to give my dad the hookup. Hey, Dad, I have a new camera guy.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, we get discounts.
Nice.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, gotta take advantage of those employee perks when you can, man.
It did take me off of pain meds, though. I'll tell you that.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, for real. The pain meds that's the dangerous stuff there.
Oh, dude. I'm all for natural ways of healing.
Yes.
Hey.
And that's what it is.
Heck yeah.
You want to tell us about some of your audio video experience?
Yeah. Like I said, I was doing live sound for the church for 5 or 6 years, and that stopped a couple of years ago. After we moved, it was just too far to go every Thursday and Sunday, because we did the practice and stuff like that as well. And then I was also in the church band, so I would do that as well. So then there would be another sound person.
Do you play instrument or you sing or what?
I played guitar in that band, yeah.
Okay.
And for the church band, I played guitar. And then we had our own band for a while, and that lasted for probably a good 5 years. And then now that band is my cousin was in it with me, the same cousin that I was talking about before, and they did this little branch off band, so now I mix their stuff for them for that.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, I love doing music stuff, like creating, and the creating part's the most fun for me.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I used to rap, and that's actually how, when we formed the original group, it was me and Garrett, and he used to rap, and that's how I knew him, was from rapping.
That's all. Yeah, I love creating music for sure.
But I mean, that was 20 years ago or 15 years ago or something.
Yeah,
I'm 40 now, so.
These kids are like, that's not what I like. And I'm like, I know.
I'm the young buck here. What the hell, guys? Oh man, that's really cool.
But yeah, I mean, just being in the band, and my dad and my cousin's dad, they had a band even when we were little kids. They did weddings and stuff and parties and stuff like that. So we've been around music for a long time, and just always loved movies, and watching and how they shoot movies is always interested me, for sure.
Really cool. What kind of movies are you into?
Really everything. Like, my latest kick besides this has been just the true crime stuff.
Nice.
Not the fiction, but the factual stuff. It always interested me, and there's always more. The true crime is always going to exist, but that stuff has been fascinating me. And there was The Walking Dead I love.
Okay, cool, man.
But horror movies for sure. But yeah, The Walking Dead has been my show for the last 10 years for sure.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since Carl died. That was the last time I've watched it.
Yeah, there was a couple of rough deaths in that show. The Glenn one, that one was rough. Yeah, there was a couple of bad ones in that show. But then I loved Lost. I don't know if you guys watched Lost.
I've tried.
And I was so disappointed at the end. I was like, I can't believe that they really never had a plan for the show.
Yeah, I don't even know if I watched the last season. I know I watched a lot of them, but I don't think I really got to the end.
they're like, we can't even believe people liked it. We just started making weird episodes. And I was like, I wish you would have just told me that in the beginning. It was more like an Alfred Hitchcock type of show. Like, it was just almost like one episode at a time type of.
That's kind of like when either one of you watch Lucifer?
I watched the first 2 seasons of it for sure.
Phil, do you watch it?
That I know everyone I know loves that show. I've never watched a single episode. It's funny because like if a bunch of people rave about a certain show so much, it actually kind of makes me not watch it. It sounds awful, but I'm gonna watch it eventually. But like, it seems like it's more aimed towards women and their, Well,
I think this season more. That's what I was getting to. Is I think this season's kind of fallen off. Like, I've always liked the show, but this season's been weird.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard to keep a show like that going.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, man.
That's even like the original Supernatural. Like, first few seasons was like, all urban legends and that. Then they made it into angels and demons, and I don't know. It's just not the same as what it used to be.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. I'm weird when it comes to TV shows. Like, my most recent one that I binged all the way through was that TV show Cobra Kai. I'm a big.
Oh yeah, I love Cobra Kai. Yeah.
So good. Every episode was like, oh my freaking god! There's no bad episodes. Like, every episode was fantastic. And I'm trying to think of another like TV show that I've been watching.
It's cool how they like mix in all this stuff from the '80s too into the episode.
Yeah, I mean, it's corny '80s, just the way they filmed it back then. It's the same method. Yeah. Did you guys watch The Servant on Apple TV?
No, I haven't seen that.
That's pretty crazy. It's just, it frustrates you to a certain point, but it's a good show.
Oh man, someone will probably be yelling at the TV once.
Yeah, at the end of the episode, you're like, I gotta wait till. Well, see, you can watch it all the way through, but I was like, I gotta wait till next week. Are you kidding me?
Oh my god, that drives me crazy too, and I'm sure Sean can attest to this. But like, I'm a very impatient person. Like, if things just stop,
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to wait. It's like, good example. Whenever the Avengers movie came out, they before Endgame came out, or I think it was Infinity War. The ending drove me nuts because I'm like, I have to wait another freaking year. This ain't cool, No. Don't make me turn into like Diva Phill, getting all irritated.
Yeah, it's even worse with movies because you're waiting a long time before the next one.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's the way everybody expects it these days. Is like Netflix, where they drop the whole season and everybody wants to just binge the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's just how it is, man. But Netflix has been kind of, I don't know, hit or miss recently, man. It's just, they've had a lot of good stuff, but then all of a sudden they like don't update anything for a while. Kind of weird. And HBO Max kind of bugs me just because it's too finicky to even go through movies. I'm like, screw it. I'm tired of clicking the dang button.
Yeah.
But that's cool though, man. I have to check that TV show out. You said it's called The Servant?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice, man. Very nice.
It's the dude that played Ron Weasley from Harry Potter's. Like, he's in that.
Okay.
Oh my god.
But he's nowhere near like Ron Weasley, that's for sure in the show.
Mr. Rupert Grint.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's a complete 180 from Ron Weasley.
Oh god. I'm really gonna watch. You're like, AJ was right. What the hell? Go watch.
So you were talking about Penhurst. Other haunted locations you've been to before?
Just like rundown places. Like, I'd never really went to any other big place. Like, so this is going to be ridiculously awesome for me. These next couple of things is going to be like just jumping right in for sure.
Have you done any like urban exploring too then, or?
Not to the extent that it was anything like serious, but just going to cool places and doing hikes and hoping that you see something when you're camping, that type of deal.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely. There's a ton of like old buildings here that are run down for sure on this side.
Anything crazy happen at Penhurst?
You think you hear things, but they're like, it's always like a little bit too many people sometimes. Like, because it seemed like it was kind of big groups, and you always have like some teenagers that are kind of like, running around and stuff. But I think they've gotten better at controlling that there. But, it's nothing super serious there. Like, I've had worse in my own personal life than I've got there for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I can imagine being in there with like 8 people would be a different ball game.
Yeah, that's the good thing about doing the private ones is you have the location to yourself, and depending on the location, like we've done Bel Air House a couple of times, and it's just a house, so everything goes through the house because it's not very big. But then you go somewhere like Trans Allegheny we were at, and that's like, I don't know, 50,000 or maybe even more, 100,000 square feet or something. I forget what it is, but it's a really
huge.
So you can, be completely on different sides. There could be 10 of you and you could still, no one's in your way,
Yeah. Enough people that have talked about it to know that there's definitely stuff going on there for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And not just in the places that they're taking you on the tours and stuff. Right. There's better places, but a lot of them are dangerous to bring like teenagers in and stuff, but
yeah, it's funny because like the team likes to tease me because I'm still a little, I'm gonna do it probably, but like the Bel Air Demon House, like I want to go there, but part of me is just like, oh god, it's just I get kind of heebie-jeebies sometimes, but like it's one of those things where you go into expect that things could happen. Things could happen. I mean, it might be something minor, it might be something major, but you just have to go in with that mindset. It's like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it.
Which talking about the Bel Air Demon House, where's that plug at, Phil?
That's funny. Screw you, man.
Well, this Saturday, this will probably air after Saturday, actually. But what is it? June 26th. We'll be releasing our documentary on YouTube.
Yeah.
Facebook Live and like I said, this will probably air after that anyway. But I mean, you can always go check out the YouTube. We have that one, and we have one on Trans Allegheny.
Oh heck yeah, man!
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it.
Yeah, I cannot believe it's already at the end of like June already, dude. This guy is way too fast.
Yeah, Halloween's gonna be here before you know it.
Oh, thank God! It needs to get here now.
Yeah, me and Phil actually both work for Scare House. It's a haunted house in Pittsburgh.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, that's how we became really good buddies. And what, Sean? We met like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that.
I started 2015. I think it was 2015. Whatever year Krampus started was the year I started.
Yeah, 2015. And I just, I'm the type of dude where like I try to talk with everybody, even if you're weird, because we're all weird. But
there's definitely different levels of weird there for sure.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah. And like we got invited to like the same like haunted house attraction stuff, the entertainment ones, and I think Sean ended up posting on Facebook about going to like a paranormal thing with this one group, and I hit him up the one day. He's like, "Yeah, man, that sounds really cool." He's like, "Well, you want to tag along?" And that's pretty much how we became like really, really close, and been pretty much besties for like a year now, and he hasn't killed me yet. That's all.
Yeah, with the whole team, he came to Anchorage Mansion with us, and the first he slept with. Well, he's not slept with him. He slept in the same room of a guy who's actually a Satanist. So.
Oh,
yeah,
I told him last minute, like, yeah, you're all right with that, right?
Oh my God.
It's funny, like the guy was a Satanist, I'm a Christian.
Yeah, I would have been in the corner gone.
He's not in our group anymore, so
it's hilarious because like we got along really well. Like to me, I can care less what your religious beliefs are. I respect people as they are. If you respect me, it's fairly cool. We were just up until 4, just chatting about stuff. I was asking him about like what got him into that thing. He's just a very nice guy, and you won't even expect him to be an actual like
it's not the way you see it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all still cool and everything. He's doing his own thing, and we're doing our own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's very deep into his theology, but
very intelligent guy.
Oh yeah, very intelligent, very very friendly dude. Yeah, it was just weird. It's like, well, I'm going to be spending an evening with a occultist. This is kind of cool. So, yeah, we got along fine, and it's just like two dudes who haven't seen each other in a while. So
cool.
Which just actually can segue into the next question I was going to have is, what do you think? Like, what religion are you? I know you said you worked for a church. Are you religious?
Yeah, I'm a Christian. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool, man. Very cool. That's awesome.
But again, yeah, you can believe whatever. Everybody has their own view on the world, so
exactly.
I'm not going to push it yet.
Oh yeah, it's it's like, to me, it's all like a personal thing. I'll talk about it if somebody asks, but
for sure,
I won't bring it up somebody doesn't ask. So
Yeah.
and you know, and like I know, like Sean's wife, you know, she's a Christian too, but I think April's correct me if I'm wrong, Sean. I think she's a pagan, or am I thinking
Pagan,
something
yeah.
different?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, pagan. Yeah, so we're all different, systems and stuff, but
it's the world, right? We're all different for sure.
You just gotta love each other and respect each other, and we're good to go, man.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, man, that's awesome.
I mean, it's good to have different perspectives on each thing. I mean, like even my wife, she practices some other stuff, like she practices hoodoo and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't know, it's good to have different outlooks. I mean, especially dealing with the paranormal, because you never know what you're going to deal with, and sometimes have that knowledge.
Yep. No doubt about it. It would be boring if everybody was exactly the same, wouldn't it?
I've actually been thinking about taking demonology classes. I've been looking up some stuff on that.
That'd be really cool, man.
Yeah, I've been seeing that there's been a lot of colleges bringing up like some paranormal courses and stuff, and like some little degrees and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It's always nice getting the knowledge of something like that too. I mean, I would love to take a college, a course in demonology and parapsychology and religion, because I'll be honest with you, I suck when it comes to like the knowledge of my own faith, even though I can follow it to the T. Well, I shouldn't say to the T, that sounds arrogant, but it's it's just to have the knowledge of stuff, because I was a lazy kid in college, dude. It was awful. Oh my god, I'm surprised I graduated. Oh, I barely squeaked by, just barely. I did it so my parents would be happy. That's about it. Got that degree, and I can't remember what I did with it. Oh man, sorry, Sean. I feel like I'm like sabotaging this interview. I gotta stop talking so much.
No, you're fine, Phil. I'm
very talkative. I love people, so.
Like Phil might fall asleep on the investigations, but he keeps me awake if I'm driving. So.
Shut up, man. I love brother, but shut up.
So what are some of your favorite ghost shows?
On TV or just
TV,
on
YouTube, whatever.
I mean, I definitely did. I mean, I think pretty much most people started watching with Ghost Adventures and stuff. It's been, I pretty much started that, I guess it was halfway through, and then got caught up on the back ones. But yeah, that for sure. And recently I've been more into the YouTube stuff than the TV stuff. The TV stuff kind of all seems the same to me. So I kind of been watching because I've always felt like amateurs do things better than professionals for some reason. Mm-hmm. And the shows I think are better on YouTube than they are on TV.
They're definitely more real. They're not like a big production as much,
And it's weird that I think these guys on YouTube are actually getting better evidence than these productions. And I think it's because, everything that's in those houses it's a show. Mm. I just really think that if you treat it right, you can really get good stuff. And I think that they're missing it more than the YouTube guys. But right now there's a show called The Haunted Side that I've been watching. And Twin Paranormal. It's these two twins and their friends that have been.
I love those guys.
Yeah, they're pretty cool, right?
Oh yeah.
So those are the two that and then that brings in like the New Reality and like that whole crew. They're all kind of like linked together in like a weird way. Mm. So I think they're nailing it. I mean, they're getting huge viewership and they're putting stuff out every week. And that's like you guys said, you do a lot of places. It's exactly what you have to do. And I think that you do have to succeed on YouTube first before anything in this business, I think. Mm. It's hard to get a TV show right off the rip.
Yeah, these days.
But if you can get to that like 100,000 mark on YouTube, then I think that you pretty much can do whatever you want. But it's content, constant content. That's
TikTok's a big thing these days too that gets a lot of people noticed.
Yeah. Yep. And there's so many ways to put the content out. It doesn't always have to be like you can even put out even with Patreon or whatever, you can put out like behind the scenes stuff. Mm-hmm. So like all that footage that we're not using, like because you're taking like 40-minute clips at a time, and you're taking out of 10 hours, you might have like 45 minutes worth of stuff. So there's always all different kinds of stuff to use and stuff.
Well, I think that's like we're talking about the shows on TV is. I think we were talking to somebody at the convention, Phill. I remember talking to somebody. I don't remember who it was, but they were saying that a lot of these shows, they get a ton of footage, but they have to put in a half-hour episode, and 10 of that minute, 10, 15 of that minutes is just like talking about it and not even showing footage. So there's a lot of footage they get. It's just they don't have the time to show a lot of it.
Yeah, that's what I mean, because you have like that, like Ghost Adventures. It's like an hour show, but the first half, well, really 42 minutes without the commercial. You get like 20 minutes of interview stuff, and then you're only getting 20 minutes of condensed 10 hours that they were there.
Yeah.
So that's tough.
Just imagine if like the entire like segment of like Paranormal team actually would show on YouTube or whatever their entire session. How boring would that be? Just think about it.
Hugely boring.
They've done some live stuff. Like I remember on Ghost Adventures, it was actually Trans-Allegheny on Halloween. They did a live, like, I don't know, 11 to 4 in the morning or something. I actually watched the whole thing. I remember when it was on.
I mean, I feel that live streaming is hugely important part of your channel for sure. Like you do like the first like hour or something, live stream your investigations, like when it's daylight or whatever, and you're doing walkthroughs. Perfect time to do that stuff.
See, I'm a big fan of the live stream. Some people in our
no doubt about it, for sure. It's part of the formula. Live streams are part of it, and it's kind of like episodes. So you kind of like take. Well, it really depends on how much footage you actually get. But if you can get at least 2 40-minute segments and have like part 1, part 2, that way you're constantly being. I find people lose interest. Like if it's like, unless you only have an hour, those are the ones that you put an hour episode out. But other than that, sometimes like people, because if you're putting out an hour episode, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because you got a lot of stuff for a full hour. But yeah, I think breaking them up and keeping people wanting more, and then putting a trailer out in the middle of the week and building it up. But
yeah, see, I mean, that's actually, me and Mikey were actually talking about that because the documentary coming out is 2 hours, which people these days don't want to watch 2 hours. So I mean, we're going to obviously roll with this the way it is. But the next one, maybe either cut it into 2 separate episodes, or maybe even 4 episodes if it would be that long. Because between TikTok and 15-minute YouTube videos and everything, like people don't want to watch 2 hours of something.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to keep people's attention for that long, for sure.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think they have, I think like 42 minutes is like that sweet spot. Like if you can get a 42-minute episode, because that's like a full TV show.
Yeah.
Oh heck yeah. And I guess in a way, like with what I said, like I shouldn't say it gets like kind of monotonous, like because you got to expect things too. Like every place you go to, you're not going to always have like bam, 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 something's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like that's why doing as many places as you can.
Exactly. It's like watching a war film. I mean, hell, you think for an hour and a half they're gonna, cause all this chaos to happen. It's like, no, they took a while. It's just, that's just a part of life. It's, and plus, what's the average like attention span for like a typical film, like an hour and a half or something like that? I think an hour and 40 minutes maybe. And I don't mind watching long stuff. I think the fact that I get very tired easily, which kind of stinks. Maybe I have like narcolepsy. I don't know, but it's just cool though because because it's realistic. You have to be realistic about stuff. It's like things take time, and if you appreciate it, you'll be very consumed in it. And I guess in a way, it's kind of cool. Like we've done live streams before on our personal page, and it's kind of cool. It's like even though not too much goes on, sometimes you guys can kind of check out what we're doing or where we're at. It's like, hey,
we actually got
eventually there will be a couple hundred people watching. It's just and hopefully
we got a couple cool things at Dead Man's Hollow on that last live one. When
oh yeah, that was fun.
We were doing that live session, and there was something. What was a family of 5 or something? It said across the spirit box, which you could clearly hear.
Oh yeah,
and
that place was beautiful.
What was the other thing? There was something else too that said you could hear it very clear.
A lot of stuff happened towards the end of the night. Like I think,
that was when a lot of people left. Like I don't know. It's definitely when it is definitely smaller groups. I think work better. Like I don't know if like spirits are intimidated by it or what it is, but you get more stuff when you're in a smaller group.
No doubt. I feel like they can overpower smaller groups.
Exactly. It's like a sensory overload type of thing. thing. I'm sure they have the same impact as it was if, you know, you have a person who's trying to mingle with like 1,000 people, but then they can't do it. Then have those people leave, and it's just like, finally, I can breathe. Now I'm going to show you what it's all about, kind of thing. You know, it's cool though. Yeah, I mean, like Dead Man's Hollow is a beautiful place to go to. It's, but Sean, how many people did we have there that day? Like 15, 16?
Total there was 18. Well, there were 17 because Tom didn't come.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Because there were supposed to be 11 guests and 7 from the team.
Yeah.
But Tom couldn't come.
Right. Yeah. It's once you meet our boy Tom, he's awesome.
Which originally me and Tom actually did this podcast, and then now me and Phill been doing it, which Tom still comes on occasionally, but sometimes he's not feeling too well. So
yeah, I love doing these podcasts. They're just fun, man. You know, you get to be yourself and not like a goofball. You know.
Yeah, being real sells for sure.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
So what's one of the scariest encounters you've ever actually had in this type of field, if you've had any?
In the paranormal, so, and I totally forgot to even mention this when you guys asked me about it before. Me and my sister, when we were teenagers, were messing with the Ouija board one night.
Oh boy.
And so obviously I already had this whatever with me for a long time. And so we're doing it. And all of a sudden the candle holder glass just shattered right in front of us, and we were just like, holy crap. And that was like the freak. I mean, and the saw was ridiculous. I mean, it was clear as day. But yeah, that Ouija, never touched one ever again since that. Yeah, I was like, okay, I was right. There was something there. Thank you for confirming. Yes, that freaked me out. My sister was the same way, and I think she kind of got that with her too. So,
right.
But it never bothers us. It just like makes noises and stuff that drive you crazy.
Right. Oh man.
Phill, have you ever messed with the Ouija board?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, but my sister and my cousins have. They actually, since we're on the topic here, this was a while back. I think I was probably like in my late teenage years. I have a sister who's like 4.5 years younger than me. We've been best friends since we were, children. But and we are like 2 of 9 grandchildren. And I think we were at my dad's older brother and his wife, my aunt and uncle, their house in Allen Park, Michigan. And I think I wasn't there that this happened. I don't know what I was doing, but they were messing with the Ouija board. And this was like after my great grandmother passed away. And I guess they were talking to my great grandmother. And my sister said that she saw like a lady with really white hair in the bathroom or something like that. Man, they were freaked out by it, Me, I've used them probably as a kid. I'm not a fan of them just because I don't know. I don't have enough knowledge to use them, and I've seen what they can do. I think they look beautiful. They're really cool looking, but I will never actually practice on one. Like, it's actually kind of funny because I crashed at Sean and his wife's camp up in Slippery Rock. We came back from our last investigation, and the blanket was a Ouija board blanket. I just thought it was kind of funny, but I never... I don't know. I mean, I'll watch them. I'll watch somebody play with one, but I just don't care to. They're not for me. I mean, call me a wolf, but it's just I don't have enough knowledge to really, and I don't want my hands to slip off in case crap goes down,
Yeah,
yeah. See, I mean,
they're creepy. They're creepy.
Oh yeah.
I think
they're
as
cool
a kid,
looking,
like as a kid, I think everybody's tried it out because I know I did too when I was younger. And
Yeah.
I remember it was me and my buddy, and he was jagging around the whole time, so he wasn't even taking it serious. I was actually getting mad, take it serious, And me and Jen have tried stuff actually probably within the last year, but nothing's really happened.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's although I don't know, I think some of it could be coincidence, but who knows?
It probably depends on where you're at too. Because we just did it here at the house, but I don't know if you went somewhere that was, if you went to Bel Air and did it.
Yeah, that's a whole different ballgame.
Oh man, I have to muster up the courage to go there, Sean. I know I can do it.
We could have been there this Saturday. She asked us if we wanted to come or whatever.
But God forbid I have to, prepare for it. One of these days, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. The more I hear about it, I'm like, you know what? This place sounds pretty cool. I don't know why. It's just, I mean, I survived the House of Wills, even though I was tired as hell. And
we didn't really get a lot in House of Wills, though.
No, we didn't. I was not disappointed in that place, but it was beautiful. Yeah, I think it's one of the reasons why I clocked out so early, just because nothing was going on. Plus, whenever it gets cold out, I get tired faster.
Do you know any of the history of the House of Wills, AJ?
No, I don't.
Yeah, because it originally was, what was it, a Freemasons or something like that, Phill? Something to do with Freemasons. And then it was the oldest funeral home, all African American funeral home in Cleveland. And now it's actually owned by like an occultist person.
Yeah.
We didn't really, I don't know. I was kind of disappointed. I mean, there was some stuff that happened upstairs with me and Mikey. But other than that, there wasn't really too much that happened.
Yeah, it was big too. It's 50,000.
Really cool building.
Oh yeah, beautiful building, beautiful. Like there's a lot there, and it's in a bit of a shady area in Cleveland.
Oh yeah,
Cleveland.
Yeah, I think that was probably the only location where we were actually a little kind of, little like worried, not really worried, but like a little cautious because of where it was placed.
A little sketchy.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, the building is really cool. Like they even have like a basement and a sub basement, and like all sorts of different levels. And
right.
But just I don't know. We didn't really have a lot happen.
Nah, it was. I don't even know if anything actually did happen. I mean, I know we caught a few, spirit box things and that laptop, that the Necro, whatever the hell it is.
Necrophonic.
Thank you. But yeah, I mean, the place is really cool. It was huge, but you're not always guaranteed to get something every time you go to certain places. Sometimes it's quiet.
Yeah. So me and Mikey had some stuff on the top floor where the old apartment was. It was just us two.
Right. Yeah.
Other than that, there wasn't like nothing major. And even that was just like REM pod stuff, flashlight stuff, nothing crazy. We did hear shuffling too, like footsteps sound like in the other room.
Oh, whered you guys hear that at?
Up where the apartment was. Like you remember where a lot of our pictures were taken up in that area, but not where the mirror and that was, like the other side of the apartment where like the tub was back in that area.
Right. That's
where
cool.
That train setup was too. We had some stuff happening there.
That's nuts, man. That's awesome. Yeah, well, I wouldn't mind going back there again just to hang out. It's cool. We've Christ, yeah, I would. We've been to so many places. It's kind of hard to pick a favorite. Yeah, dude, it's awesome, man.
Minesville is definitely probably one of my favorites, and we'll be going there in November. So.
My God, that's gonna be so fun, man. Is that November? That is November. Yeah, I actually have it written down here too. I have my calendar with me.
I always quiz Phill on. He's like, "Oh, tell us what's coming up," and then he never knows the date.
He's not wrong about that either. I use a typical calendar, like a paper one.
His old lady calendar.
Yeah,
you gotta remember to get his groceries and all that.
Hey, you know what though? That actually comes in handy because once you start getting older, you can't remember anything.
That's the truth.
That's so funny. I'm getting the hang of it. It's a horror movie calendar too, so I got that.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, heck yeah, man.
So, what would be a bucket list item for you? Where would you want to go if you can go anywhere?
I'd like to do that whole, like the Mackey Mansion, that whole town. I mean, that whole little strip there is just. I'd like to see it for myself. There's so many good little spots there. Mm-hmm. That whole Vegas area. But Mackey Mansion for sure that I've watched, I think it gets a lot of good stuff.
Which one is that? I'm not sure if I know what that is.
What's the name of that town in Vegas? Let me see. It's called Mackey Mansion, Mackay.
Okay. I'll have to look at it.
What's the name of that town in Vegas? They're like right outside of Vegas.
You said Mackey?
AY.
Oh, KY.
KAY.
AY.
Virginia City, Nevada.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yep. That's really cool. I never heard of that place.
There's like so many in that town that people have gotten that is just so active, that whole town. One of those old Western towns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All craziness, the brothels and stuff.
That's like a vulture mine and all that out that way too.
Yeah, and there's some outskirt stuff there too, like those mines and stuff like that. Yep.
That's what sucks about us is like we don't really have ghost towns around Pittsburgh, you know.
Yeah.
Or even in the eastern United States, period, you know.
Yeah, for sure. You got like a lot of like old war areas, but that's like pretty much it. Most of the stuff is occupied, you know. It's like a lot of those places out west are just like towns that are deserted. Like we don't really have those deserted towns.
Yeah.
Right.
And the only thing I could think of is what is it? Well, it's I guess Centralia kinda. And then that Yellow Dog, what the hell is it called? Yellow Dog something. It's actually around us. Have you ever heard of it, Phill?
What's it called again?
Yellow Dog. It's Yellow Dog something. I know Tom's been there before, actually. The cops actually showed up because they had cameras and stuff. And I think you can go there, but you have to have permission from the property owner. And he just like snuck on, I think.
Oh, geez. Oh man. Well, I mean, if it works, it works. So you get caught. Oh man. Hey AJ, is your wife into this type of thing, or is she not really?
She deals with it. She's not really into the whole horror thing, but she digs it. Like she watches like all the YouTube stuff with me, and she gets into it. But like,
Cool.
she's really more afraid of the movies than she is of the real stuff, which is kind of odd. Yeah.
That's so
She's like, they just make it so scary in the movies.
That's true. I mean, that's correct. I mean, heck, that's cool though, because it's you can always like find somebody who kind of appreciates like this type of thing, but in a different like spectrum, you know?
Yeah.
That's
like I definitely picked somebody that had common interests for sure. Like even with sports and music and stuff, it's like all common stuff. So I'm never feeling odd watching the Eagles because she likes the Eagles. So it's like, even though they stink.
That's really cool. That's really cool. What kind of music do you listen to?
I honestly love a little of everything. I know that sounds so cliche, but like my most favorite was the 90s Seattle stuff for sure. Pearl Jam and Nirvana and
a lot of the grunge stuff.
Yeah, the grunge stuff
Yeah.
for sure was my favorite. And then, geez, like the late 80s hip hop I loved. All the stuff that never made it to radio. The Beastie Boys came along. And I did like the Beastie Boys too, but you know, all of those like Public Enemy and EPMD, all those like classic rappers that never really got the chance.
Oh man.
But yeah, those two genres I think are my most influential because that early 90s and late 80s rap were my high school days, and then the college days was the grunge days. And then you had Snoop mixed in there with Eminem.
So what was your band? Was it like a mixture of that type of stuff too, or?
It was just pretty much a straight rock stuff. And now we're kind of getting more diverse, like taking synths in and taking like more made drums. Like I really enjoyed doing the whole like the beat stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like taking drumming out and just building music around beats. So that's like kind of something different that nobody really does is take that type of stuff.
See, I always liked, like, I know when you go like on vacation to like some big popular place or something, they'll have these clubs where you have like live bands playing hip hop and stuff. Like I love like stuff like that.
Yeah. And I think I told you when we were doing the interview before when I worked at that studio in Philly, the like Snoop's drummer came in, like all these guys, like, cause all of these really big rappers play with bands.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, they don't really use like artificial music. They have bands playing the whole thing. And it was just like, I never really knew it was that extent. And all of these guys were from Philly. All the drummers and all the bass players for these big rappers were Philly dudes. And they would just come, and it was just so cool to see how they worked. And they work harder than people think.
Why don't you tell Phill about the junkyard thing you were telling me and Mikey?
Oh, yeah. Wiz Khalifa's keyboard player took me out to a junkyard to get sounds for drums and stuff. So we were just hitting everything everything to make. And I'm just sitting there holding a field recorder while he's hitting stuff. And then I'm sure that was on the next album, and I was there, for that sound. Yeah.
That is so freaking awesome, man. How did you get in touch with him? Like, how did you end up running into him?
Just like this, I just messaged this guy one time, and I was like, if you ever need because this was during a time where I was like, I had enough time to devote 3 days to this studio, and I was like, if you just need a runner or whatever, I just want to be there. And he's like, you don't have to pay me. And I'm like, all right, cool. So and I just went down just for this experience to watch these bigwigs kind of perform, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. I didn't think it was this big. And I was like, I never saw money transferred. It was just like these old 60s Motown guys mixed with these modern rapper, bass player, and drummers, and they're all just sitting in this studio jamming.
That's awesome.
Like, there's really nothing being made. It's just day-long jam sessions with these guys, and I'm like, I'm just sitting there listening to it going, holy cow.
Well, I mean, you being in a band, I'm sure you can attest to it too, because I mean, I know when I used to rap, we would just have people come over, and I had a studio in my house, and we'd record stuff and just have freestyle Fridays or do cover songs, and my buddy would play the acoustic guitar and somebody beatbox and we just rap over it's awesome.
Yeah, that is a good deal right there. But I was just I was just astounded. I was like, holy cow, I can't believe I got this opportunity. Even though I'm not getting paid for it, I'm still crazy, awe, just going.
That is
an old Motown guy here. It was craziness, but it was so fun.
Oh, man.
Learned a ton there. Those guys know how to record for sure.
What's Wiz Khalifa like as a person?
I never got to meet him.
I got
just the keyboard player, yeah.
Damn.
yeah, I never got to meet Snoop I never got to meet them. Just their band, which nobody knows about. It's just a great band that plays behind them. You know what I mean?
That's awesome, man.
But I just couldn't believe that all these guys were Philly guys. And I just really never knew that influence of music was in that community. Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird because they're all jazz. Philly, they're all jazz musicians. It's
oh yeah,
they're just so technical and ridiculously awesome. Some of the best drummers I ever saw, and nobody knows who they are. It's so weird. Sad. But they enjoy it. They get big money for not being in that spotlight.
Kudos to them. That's all.
Yes.
Stay out of all that drama and do your thing. That's awesome, man. But,
so what's the bigger picture that what do you want to accomplish in 5 years or whatever?
I definitely want to get my editing, the camera skills and the editing side more than anything. I think I know what I want to shoot. I just hope I get it right. But the editing side is really what I really want to focus on, because I think you need more than one person to be, otherwise you're going to get burned out, because it takes a long time, especially if you want to put an episode out a week. I mean, that's a lot of hours.
Yeah.
And as many as we can get, that that's that you can trust. But yeah, I definitely want to get my editing down to where it's just you can pump them out once a week, and we have a couple people to do it. That'd be awesome. Mm-hmm. But more the that aspect for sure. So. And if I get in front of a camera someday, so be it. You have to be interesting for sure.
Mm-hmm. You'll have fun. We're a really awesome group of people here, so we try to be photogenic. Yeah. I know some of us probably have to. I got to make sure my clothes are on all the time. That's good. No, it's cool though, man. I'm excited to see how you work out with us, man. It's gonna be awesome, brother.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I think it's going to be cool.
Oh, yeah.
So, Phil, why don't you run by those dates that we're going to have him coming on?
Well, we do have an investigation on 9/11 at Loveland. I'm very excited for that.
That's the second one.
You skipped one. Yeah, what's the first one? Even AJ knows. Phil's gone. AJ's in.
Shut up.
The end of August.
Oh, there is one in August. I don't even think. Son of a.
It's actually my mom's birthday. That's how I remember the date. So
okay, well, you can reiterate, but I do know the Loveland, and I do know the other one. It's God, I'm terrible at remembering this stuff. November.
We'll make you get it tattooed on you. So.
That'll be my first ever tattoo.
So AJ, tell us about the August one since Phill don't know.
Okay, we will be going to Ohio to Madison Seminary.
That's what
on August 21st.
There you go.
I'm gonna write that down. August 21st, Madison Seminary.
I'm super excited for that one. That one should be cool.
Yeah, Madison Seminary. Oh my god, I'm like the worst organizer. Like I'm a very organized person, but when it comes to stuff that I actually like to do, I always forget to write the damn thing down.
You know when it's time.
It's awful, man. That's why Sean's here to back me up. So yeah, Madison Seminary is gonna be fun, dude. I can't wait for that, man. Although I think I'm most excited for Loveland is because I've seen what it looks like, and it's just like,
yeah, it's crazy looking for sure. I'm
definitely Minesville's definitely my favorite. I mean, I've been to Minesville on Publix a bunch of times, and I swear, even being there for like an hour, you always get stuff. So us being there all night, I think we're there 11 to 5.
Nice.
We should get a lot of stuff hopefully.
Oh heck yeah! I would love to go to Salem, Massachusetts.
I've been there twice. Fun. Yeah.
Lucky duck.
New Orleans. I was in New Orleans too. New Orleans is awesome. We all need to go there.
Oh,
New Orleans is a creepy town, dude.
Yeah, you been there before?
No, but I know a lot of people that have, and I know a lot of
I mean, it has a heartbeat. Like
it definitely does.
It has like a vibe to it. Like me and my wife got engaged there. It's just
it has a vibe, and that is the truth.
And like everybody's accepting there. Like the music's amazing. Like I just want to retire in New Orleans.
It is one of the most unique places I've heard that there is.
Oh yeah. You know what's crazy? It's like the more you get involved with this stuff, you just want to travel every place that has like a haunted history to it. Like I would have never even imagined being a part of something like this. Going to, I mean, we've obviously Pennsylvania and Ohio have been the primary locations that we've all been through or been to.
Do a lot.
Oh yeah, it's just it's a blast, man. I just like to look at everything too because it's I get more excited to go to haunted places half the time than some ski resort or some hot a beach or whatever. I like the beach too. It's just I want to go to that abandoned building to check it out and see what history there is there. It's
you only get so much time with it while there's light.
Yep, exactly. All these haunted buildings, they want visitors because they're probably lonely. It's like, oh hey, I'll check you guys out. It's awesome, man. But yeah, Madison Seminary is going to be good, and I do want to go back to Grand Midway. I know I always keep saying that to Sean and them. That place is beautiful because all the rooms are amazing there. And
yeah, I don't know if how you'd feel about driving out there, AJ, but if you would be down to, I know we got to go out and interview the owner one of these days. I think me and Mikey are going to go do that, but I don't know how far it is from you. It might be really far.
Which one? Where is it at?
It's in Windber, PA. It's probably, it's more eastern from us, so it's not
so it might actually be closer.
Yeah, a little bit closer, but yeah, I know we're supposed to go interview the owner one of these days. I don't know when exactly, but
yeah, let me know, and I'll definitely let you know if I'm good for that day.
Okay.
Yeah, Blair's pretty awesome. Good guy. He's very high energy, which is really cool. He's whenever we were there, it was a beautiful place, really cold, but it was beautiful, man.
I'd love to go to his Halloween party. He has this Dracula ball every Halloween.
Right, he did mention that too. Oh my gosh.
He owns a church too. He has the party in this church.
That church is really cool. That church was freaking freezing in there.
We had more activity in the church than we did at the hotel.
Right? I was going to say.
There's a lot of creepy churches, that's for sure.
You think about all the funerals and stuff that probably happened there and, everything else.
Oh, yeah.
And everything else.
Oh, man.
Like I said, you never know who everybody is.
Oh, man. If you don't mind me asking, if you weren't doing this right now as a side hobby type of thing, what would you be doing?
I would probably my whole plan was kind of to if you look at every streamers, especially the little sounds, the alerts,
right?
I wanted to make those sounds.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So whether it was me, myself putting them out, or whether it was through like a different group where they're looking for creators or whatever. But like even like just like trailer music that's like 30 seconds long, like for videos, that type of stuff is probably what I would have been doing.
That's awesome.
And probably will still do because I'm going to have to, I'm sure.
You're right.
That'll be part of it. But yeah, like that stuff is very interesting to me, and it kind of meshes together anyway. That's what I would have done probably for sure.
Yeah.
That would have been the hobby for sure.
That's awesome, man. Do you have any kids or?
Nope, not yet.
Not yet. Future paranormal investigator / camera guy. Oh,
yeah. Yes.
I don't want to like cut us short, but I try to keep these episodes around an hour.
Okay.
I mean, we'll still talk to you. I'm just going to stop recording pretty soon though.
Okay.
But yeah, so we have AJ with us, new cameraman, Bump in the Night Society. Make sure you check out our new video on Bel Air House, Saturday, June 26th. And thanks for coming on, man.
Oh yeah, my pleasure. Anytime you need me.
Awesome having you, brother.
Oh, it's going to be great.
My man.
All right, man.
Walk in the night.